The judge writing, presidents are not kings, rejecting the Justice Department's argument that top presidential advisors are immune from being called to testify before Congress. The Justice Department appealed the ruling today. The president tweeting, I would love to have Mike Pompeo, Rick Perry, Mick Mulvaney, and many others testify about the phony impeachment hoax. Future presidents should in no way be compromised. And today, Pompeo was asked whether he is considering testifying.
When the time is right, all good things happen.
I think Mike Pompeo would be a critical person.
Their turnovers, they've cut their turnovers in half of what they were yesterday. And they've been much more in control and playing with poise and purpose than they did last night against Austin.
A White House tradition of pardoning turkeys.
They've already received subpoenas to appear in Adam Schiff's basement on Thursday.
Meanwhile, tonight in newly revealed transcripts, OMB official Mark Sandy testified that 2 budget officials left their jobs at least in part over concerns about the freeze in Ukraine military aid. Lester.
Kristen Welker at the White House, thank you. There's an urgent search for survivors tonight after a powerful 6.4 magnitude earthquake rocked Albania. The death toll has climbed to at least 23. Hundreds are injured. NBC's Richard Engel now with the video of the dramatic rescue mission.
This 11-year-old boy had been sleeping when the quake struck at 4 a.m. His legs trapped under the rubble. Rescuers today were eventually able to free him. He survived because his grandmother reportedly sheltered him from the falling debris at the cost of her life. This video inside a store in Albania's capital showing the moment the magnitude 6.4 quake struck. 20 miles away from the epicenter, the quake was powerful enough to pancake many buildings, including this hotel. The boy plucked from the broken concrete is expected to recover. Rescue workers say they have pulled dozens of people from collapsed buildings, and tonight they are still frantically searching for more. Lester?
Richard Engel, thank you. For the first time in 36 years, 3 Maryland men will get to have Thanksgiving with their families after they were released from prison, cleared of a murder they didn't commit. NBC's Ron Allen and how they finally won their freedom.
Freedom for 3 men outside the same Baltimore court that sent them to prison for life nearly 4 decades ago.
My faith what kept me through it. I sat on my bunk when I got the information and I cried.
Alfred Chestnut, Ransom Watkins, and Andrew Stewart were all 16 when they were convicted of killing another teenager for his jacket at a school in 1983.
A few students who might have information on the murder were driven to police headquarters for a debriefing.
The turning point came last year. Chestnut filing a Public Information Act request from prison, forcing authorities to reveal records prosecutors say uncovered rampant police misconduct and evidence proving their innocence.
So at the end of the day, this is not a victory, right? This is a tragedy.
State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby has now helped exonerate 9 innocent men wrongly convicted, including Eric Simmons and his brother earlier this year.
I don't have the words right now. I can't have it.
What's the lesson of all this?
We have to not be afraid to confront the fact that the criminal justice system is flawed. These are 16-year-old black boys that were vilified.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's out of this world.
3 men arrested on Thanksgiving Day nearly 4 decades ago.
This is the first time I have been able to hug my son in about 20-some years. This is wonderful.
Now, finally spending the holiday at home. Ron Allen, NBC News, Baltimore.
California is among several states trying to tackle 2 growing problems at once. The soaring student loan debt carried by nearly 75% of med school graduates and the shortage of doctors at public hospitals. For doctors, pursuing their passion can come at a high financial price. The average amount owed for those starting their careers, more than $200,000, amassed from years of college, medical school, and completing residency programs. It's enough to discourage some doctors from working in underserved communities, according to the chief medical officer at Harbor UCLA Medical Center. You get some folks who think, I'd like to work with you, I'd like to work with this population, but I just can't afford it.
Yeah, and it's really tragic, and that's why they wanted to become a doctor in the first place. But the realities of a crushing debt after so much training, and then their hopes and dreams for themselves and their families when they start out, becomes a challenge for them to choose that path.
The need for doctors in hospitals like this is now leading to creative solutions.
In California, we have a shortage of physicians just overall.
Cal Health Cares is a new loan repayment program targeting physicians and dentists, helping them repay student debt up to $300,000 in exchange for practicing for 5 years with at least 30% of their patients covered by Medicaid.
Our hope was that if we can get these physicians and dentists into the program, they will establish their practices, they will see how beneficial it is to be in our program, and that they will stay on long term.
Pediatrician Tanisha Moss began her career $250,000 in debt.
I was willing to go to school and whatever the cost was, and not until after I graduated and I realized exactly how much it cost and how much you have to pay back did I realize it required a lot.
Of the 1,300 Cal Health Cares applications submitted, just 278 doctors were selected, including Dr. Moss.
It feels like a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Program coordinators say it's a start. With 5 rounds of initial funding from a voter initiative to tax tobacco, they hope to keep it going. Are you concerned that after the window expires that some of these folks will leave?
It is a concern, but what we find is that when physicians start their career serving Medicaid patients, they often end up keeping that as their career.
The California program is open to doctors who have graduated medical school within the last 5 years. Just ahead as online shopping explodes, how retailers are trying to lure you into stores. Also, an NFL star talks about the personal struggle that forced him to leave a game. His powerful message ahead. And we'll talk turkey with a woman who has saved countless Thanksgiving dinners from disaster. Stay with us.
We work really hard and we're kind of intense.
We sweat, we bust our butt, and if I didn't enjoy what I was doing, I wouldn't be here.
The benefits were excellent. I've never had full dental and vision and medical or any of that stuff, and I got that right out of the gate first day.
It's a really friendly company.
Seconds, so that previous possession you're driven.
You're gonna pay for me to go to school so I can eventually leave the company? Like, that's insane.
Cologuard, colon cancer screening for people 50 and older at average risk.
I've heard a lot of excuses to avoid screening for colon cancer.
I'm not worried. He doesn't run it right now.
I can do it next year.
No rush.
Cologuard is the non-invasive option that finds 92% of colon cancers. You just get the kit in the mail, go to the bathroom, collect your sample, then ship it to the lab. There's no excuse for waiting. Get screened.
Ask your doctor if Cologuard is right for you. Covered by Medicare and most major insurers.
You have to have nonverbal communication and just an understanding of where your teammate is going to be. And when you have the collection of